Sarah Dana Greenough was an American novelist. She was born in 1827 in Boston, the daughter of William Joseph Loring and Anna Thorndike Loring. In 1846 she married sculptor Richard Saltonstall Greenough. She died in 1885 in Franciszko-Wielaznia in Bohemia. Her first novel, the 1863 Lilian, draws on her experience living with her husband in Rome. We will review her 1872 Arabesques, Monarè, Apollyona, Domitia, Ombra. These stories are not strictly fairy tales, as they have many macabre touches, and more than a hint anticipating the decadence of the 1890s. Monarè concerns Walter of Isola, a knight who finds a shining ruby which emits an eerie light, and a phantom voice begging for deliverance. He goes on a quest and runs into a werewolf and kills him without issue, despite how dangerous he was supposed to have been. Then he casually resurrects a bunch of people because werewolf blood can do that, I guess, including the local count. A priest tells us the count being ripped apart by the werewolf was just heavenly punishment for the count and countess daring to grieve the abduction of their infant daughter too much. The countess then decides to ask him to go find their daughter, since he only brought her husband back from the dead that morning, so he may as well go and make himself useful. So he puts on the ring, and he and his horse are both invisible as they traipse around a nondescript Arab country, where an ancient Egyptian witch lured him in order to free the captured young lady, whom he then marries without the two ever having exchanged a single word in the story. Apollyona has another knight who goes on another quest. He gets invited to stay in a mountain hut, then sees the old woman who lives there is distraught by her son being bewitched by the mountain witch. The story then forgets about the both of them entirely as the knight goes up the mountain and gets bewitched by the mountain witch, taken to subterranean caverns full of unimaginable wealth, and shown an artificial garden made by swarms of demons before the days of the flood, demons who slither and creep about him on all sides eerily, as she tells him the story of how she had bewitched King Sardanapalus. But the story never gets finished as he drinks a vial of suspicious dark fluid that makes him see she is really death herself and helps him levitate out of there. Domitia has an Italian countess have an accident and have her body taken over by the spirit of an ancient Roman woman named Domitia, who is mean and vile with the countess's two daughters. But the most horrid thing she does, the most unimaginably wicked thing of all, she puts a bowl of milk and a basket with some honeycombs in front of a statue of Mercury. The sheer unabated hang-bringing terror the elder daughter exhibits upon finding this out is nothing short of comical, especially as it is played entirely straight. Domitia keeps looking for something in the castle, and an old witch helps her find it in the dungeons, but the stone over it has the mark of the cross. So the elder daughter who followed them helps to raise the stone and the two disappear, and then they find the countess dead in her room. I have no idea what they were looking for. And this is the second story in a row where it seems the author just sort of stopped before even getting to a proper denouement. Ombra, finally, concerns another knight. He goes to a random hut and nearly gets killed and robbed, before the young woman there helps him and leaves the story permanently by going into a convent, her only role in the story being to give him a random protective amulet so he can defend against the enemy of all mankind, the astrologer Mazitka, which amulet she just got one day. Then he wanders into a ruined city in Upper Tower and meets Ombra, the beloved mist-born wife or child, it's never really made clear, who is loved by Mazitka, into whose house he randomly stumbled. And just when his stepmother visits Mazitka to get a poison to murder her husband, the knight's father, Ombra, the mist woman, sends him to an old mosque, where he finds an ancient witch watching over a row of coffins, who sends him to steal a dead monk's robe in order to save his father's life and to expose his stepmother. The stories have a decadent charm, and it's a shame she never wrote any more like this.